Hi everyone, I'm going to discuss ratio and proportion. Now, ratio is the relation between two like numbers or quantities expressed as a quotient. It is a method of comparing one quantity with another quantity. Now, take note that a ratio is considered as a common fraction. Now, like common fractions, ratios are usually reduced to lowest terms. But we have to note that ratios should be expressed in like terms before being reduced. Like when I say like terms, they must have the same units, for example. And it has to be noted that the ratio of 1 ton to 5 kilos is not a ratio which is 1:5. Now, the term should be converted to the same unit of measurement before it has to be simplified. Ratios are very useful in business computations like analysis of financial statements, allocations of costs and expenses, distribution of income and losses, and the likes. So, not just in business, ratio is also important in other fields like in cooking. um, we need some ratio of the ingredients to come up with a very delicious meal. So this is why I'm going to discuss ratio as well as proportion, and it has many applications. So first, we're going to express each of the following expressions in simple ratios using the units in parentheses. So as what I have explained before, we simplify ratio, we have to make sure that they are like terms in the sense that they have the same unit. So in the case of 1, 2, 3, each pair has different units. So here we are asked to express each pair to the given units in parentheses. So take note that 1 feet, or rather 1 foot, equals 12 inches. So 3 feet is converted to 3 times 12. So this would be 36 inches to 72 inches. Now, we can make use of a colon to represent a ratio. And we know that 36 and 72 have common factor, and its common factor or their common factor is 36. So by dividing both by 36, we can simplify the ratio into 1:2. So this is the simple ratio represented by number 1. For number 2, we have to convert 4 weeks to days as stated in the instruction. So we know that 1 week equals 7 days. So 4 weeks can be converted to 4 times 7. So this gives us 28 days to 15 days. I guess the only common factor to both 28 and 15 is 1. So this is already the simplified ratio. So we can convert this into 28 using colon to 15. Now we know that 1 yard is always equal to 3 feet. So converting 3 yards to feet requires us to multiply 3 by 3. So we have 9 feet here is to 27 feet. So since the two are or have common factor, which is 9, we will divide both items here by 9. So this will lead us, so its simplest form, 1 is to 3 there. So that's how we simplify ratio. So we have to check first if the two numbers or values being compared have the same units. So if not, then we have to convert them. And then we simplify them by dividing both terms by their, I guess, greatest common factor for us to come up with its simplest form. Okay. Now, let's work on this example problem. And this is working on ratios. So Mr. Juan Ayala and Mr. Henry Tantoco form a partnership. Ayala invested for, so let me change this to 4,500,000 pesos. Ayala invested, although we can work on the ratio of that, but I intended this to be 4,500,000 pesos. While Mr. Tantenko contributed 7 million, Tantoco rather, 7,500,000. And we are asked to work on the ratio of each of the following. Okay, so Ayala's investment to Tantocos. So the first value would be Ayala. So this is 4,500,000 to 7,500,000. And we have to work on their common factor. Like maybe we can cancel the six zeros, right? Here, or rather the five zeros here. So we have 45 and 75. And obviously their greatest common factor is 15. So as we divide both by 15, so we'll come up with, for 45, we'll come up with 3 is to 5. Now, this time, the first term is Tantoco's investment, which is 7,500,000. And then to Ayala. So it's the other way around for number 2, no, in comparison to number 1. And this is 4,500,000. And then we just have to reverse whatever the answer in 1. So this has to be 5 is to 3. Now, take note that when we say 3 is to 5, it's different from 5 is to 3. They're not commutative. They are not interchangeable. Okay? Now, Ayala's investment to the total capital. So we go back with Ayala's investment, which is 4,500,000 pesos, is to the total. So the total is, I think, 12 million. And then we cancel their common factor. So I guess we can remove the 5 zeros. And then we have 45 and 120. So I think the greatest common factor for 45 and 120 is 15. And this gives us 3 is to 8. As we divide 45 and 12 by 15, we'll have 3 and 8 respectively. So the simple ratio for that is 3 is to 8. Now, how about Tantocos to the total capital? So this is 12 million, rather Tantocos first before the total. So this must be so for number 3, Ayala, yeah. So Tantoco, so it's 7,500,000 to 12 million. Okay. So canceling the no, just the 5 zeros. Okay. So we have 75 and 120. I guess we have the same common factor with number 3, and that is 15. Okay. So we have 5 is to 8 this time. Okay. Now, how do we allocate a number to a ratio? Like, we have to consider these steps. So allocating would mean allotting portion to from a sum, and then we allot a portion. Okay. So how do we do that? We add the terms of the ratio, and that would actually represent the denominator. This one. And then the ratio itself will be the numerator, and the denominator will be the sum of all ratios. And that would be a multiplying factor to the whole to get the portion or the part. So for example, we have 2,700,000 to be allocated for three, like sales department, marketing department, and advertising department. Now, let's consider that 2 is for sales, 3 for department, marketing, and then the last ratio is for advertising. Okay, then how much money will be allocated for each department? So, using the first step, so we'll add 2, 3, and 4. So, this is 9. And then this 9 will serve as the denominator. Okay. Now we'll come up with the factor to be multiplied to this whole to come up with how much is or how much will be allocated to each tree. Okay. Now, like for example, for sales, no, how much are we going to allocate for the sales department? So this is 2/9 times the whole amount, 2,700,000. And that is equal to 600,000 pesos. Okay. Now for what's the other one? Marketing. So 3/9 again, or 1/3 times the whole amount, 2,700,000. So this is multiplied by 2,700,000. So we have 900,000 allotted for marketing department. And then lastly, for the advertising department. So this is 4/9 multiplied to the whole, which is 2,700,000. And we will allocate 1,200,000 for advertising. Meaning, if you get the sum of the three allocations, this would equal to the total amount, 2,700,000. Okay. So I guess we have another one. So Carmen bought a house and lot that was advertised as follows. So the total amount was 8,850,000. Now, she was able to buy this, and then for record purposes, she wants to allocate for each of this with considering the amount, the total amount that she has purchased. So instead of considering this, she would consider 5,265,000 there. So there will be a new amount for each of this, and that is what we're going to work on. Now, for example, for land, so we can go back with the step on how we allocate. Like, so we were not given with the ratios here. Instead, this will be our numerator, and the denominator will be our total here. So we have, like, for land, 1,500,000. So you don't need to simplify because you will be using calculator. So 8,850 and the 3 zeros. You multiply this with 5, 2, 6, 5. Okay. So the result would be 150 over 8, 850, and then the 3 zeros. And then we will multiply this with 5, 2, 6, 5, 1, 2, 3. There. So to round off to two decimal places, we have 89,237.29. So this is 89,237.89. And then for the house, so this is 3 million over 8, 850, 3 zeros times 5, 2, 6, 5, 3, 0, 0. So this is 3, 1, 2, 3 over 8, 850.23, and then times 5, 2, 6, 5, 1, 2, 3. And this is equal to 1,784,745.76. So this is 1,784,745.76. And then for appliances, same rule. So this is 1,200,000 all over 8, 850 times 5, 265. Okay. So this is 1,200,000 divided by 8, 850,123. And times 5, 265, 123. So you have 713, 898, comma, 0.31. 713, 898.31. And then lastly, for the rugs and curtains, so this is 150,000. Again, all over 8, 850, then the 3 zeros times 5, 2, 6, 5. There. So we have 150,000 over 8, 850, okay, times 5, 2, 6, 5, 1, 2, 3. And this is 89,237, 89,237.29. Now, if you add this, the total must be this one. Okay. Now, the last part is proportion. So when we say proportion, this is a statement of quantity between two ratios. So here we are comparing two ratios. So in solving word problems by proportion, we have to determine the type of relationship that exists between two ratios. And we have two relationships. One is direct proportion, and then they set up the ratio in the form of fraction. For example, if B is directly proportional to A, and B sub 1 and B sub 2 correspond respectively to A sub 1 and A sub 2, then we have that equation formula. On the other hand, when we say it's inversely proportional or indirectly proportional, take note that B sub 1 is equal to A sub 2 over A sub 1. Okay. Now for directly proportional, if for example A is increasing, A increases, B rather increases as well. Now in the case of inverse proportion, while one variable increases, the other variable decreases. Okay. So for example, if we have this problem, okay, so wait, for painters need 15 days to paint a house. So if the job is to be, so this problem is actually inversely proportional. Of course, we know that as we increase our workers, of course, the task that the job will be completed decreases. Like if we have more workers, we're expecting that the job will be accomplished. So this is more of an inverse proportional. This is inverse proportion. Okay. So with that, if we're going to consider X as our the number of workers or painters to be more specific, then if we have x over b here, that we have the, okay, so if this would be x over 4, so like this fraction belongs to our like term, so this is the representation of the number of painters, and we equate this to, of course, we have to reverse, and this will be likely equal to 5 days over 15 days. Now, this is our B1, B2, and this will be our A2 and our A1 because this is inversely proportional. Now, we come up with equivalent fractions. We know that equivalent fractions um, are the same. So for us to simplify this equivalent fraction, we can cross multiply, and their product must be the same as well. So as we cross multiply, so we have like, so instead, it has to be 15, and this must be 5. Okay, so represented by a sub 2 and then a sub 1. So as we cross multiply, so we have 5 times x here equals 4 times 15. So we have 5x equals 60. So we divide both sides by 5. So we have 12 painters needed. Of course, we shorten the period. So we want the job to finish in 5 days. So we'll be needing more painters. Now, ratio and proportion can be expressed in equivalent fractions, or they can also express as x is to 4 equals 15 is to 5, such that this again will remain as the means, and this will be the sames. So whenever there is if the pair is complete, so we will multiply them and then divide by the given value in the pair of the means. So that will that will give you, or that will come up with the value of the unknown. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand the idea of ratio and proportion. So until next meeting, so bye for now.